below. Technically, they can see, right? Okay. Right. Okay, I realize this might be stupid because the video has been up for maybe 30 seconds before this, but I'm Jamie, the current president for Malaysian Students Association in UW-Madison, and I'm the host for the 2015 MSA Presidential Debate. So this year we have three candidates, three very good candidates that we're gonna have a debate on. You can post your questions on, you should be able to see a Q&A tab by your side of the Google Hangout if you're watching it live, and you can post your questions there either now or as they speak. So without further ado, let me introduce the three candidates.
Hi, my name is ZhengMing. I'm running for MSA President, and hopefully by the end of this debate, I can convince you that vote for me as your president for the fall 2015. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jerome, currently a junior here studying actuarial science, and I'm running here to be your president.
Hi, my name is Hariz Hisham. I am a sophomore studying finance and economics, and I'm also running for the presidency position of MSA.
Right.
Apply. Why do you want to be this?
I guess the question was why we are interested to run for presidency. I think I'll go first. Yeah. Okay. So I am interested in this position because I feel MSA has done a lot for me. Coming into UW-Madison as a first-year student, MSA has helped me adjust to college life very well. They were the first people there to reach out to me once I was accepted and admitted into the school. And ever since then, they've been giving me a really good helping hand. And I think I owe it to them for that. And because of that, I want to take up this leadership role in this organization and hopefully give that same opportunity and experience to other students.
So for me, I believe we also have all the same reasons for wanting to become the president, and also because I believe I can use my experiences also to help out and to improve this community, and also a reason to give back to this community as it has done to me.
Hi, so I want to run for MSA President because I see great potential in this club compared to other clubs on campus. And I believe I can bring in new ideas to this club to help it excel to greater heights.
All right, next. Let's proceed to the next question. Next question is, what problems do we currently have in general as a community and etc., and the improvements that you are proposing in order to solve them?
So I think one of the major problems being faced by MSA in particular, and one that I've identified with conversations with other members, is that the members or Malaysian students in general have problems integrating themselves because the population of Malaysians at UW-Madison is far greater than what we see at events, and I think that is a major problem because when you go to an MSA event, you'll realize that there are very few Malaysians that actually attend, but if you look at admission statistics, there are actually almost 200 Malaysian students on campus. and not many of them are attending these events and integrating themselves with other Malaysian students, and I think that should be a problem that we should address.
Yeah, definitely. That being a problem of we can't get everyone to participate. So what I would like to do would be certainly coordinating activities, coordinating social events, things that can be done to improve and encourage the sense of togetherness, the sense of us being together as one community, supporting and enhancing each other. And that's my main plan to address and to improve all of us together as one.
So the way I see the Malaysian community on Madison is that they're very friendly with each other. However, there are a lot of cliques within these groups, and they always hang out within these cliques. So what I would like to do is actually to have more small, maybe informal events to sort of like make these cliques like click to each other and just try to like unify the more Malaysians together.
Right, great responses from the three lads. Let's proceed to the next question now. What are some of the activities that you have in mind for MSA next year, other than the usual Hari Raya, Deepavali, and Chinese New Year celebration?
I can take this one first. So what I would like to do for MSA next year is actually to collaborate with maybe another club or a few other clubs to have one like inter-club. It could be just a social dinner, or it could be maybe a sports day just on campus. And I think this would be a very great activity as it can let Malaysian students meet a lot of other students from different clubs, different organizations, maybe different countries. So that's what I would really like to do for MSA next year. And that's it. Thank you.
So for me, I believe that we can do a few more internal events among the members itself also, because I feel that once you come here, it's either you like to be part of something or you don't, and that's what determines how committed you are to a certain community. So I believe that's what we need to strike at and improve that freshman or the transfer students, how they come inside, how the transition period works at, and sort of get them interested to join this community, because we need a community, like I said earlier, that supports and enhances each other. So building upon that, and so far and going further on that, they were like making efforts to work with other communities also, and then making us together.
Yeah, I think ZhengMing and Jerome really hit the nail on the head on that one. But I believe that there are actually a lot of opportunities for MSA, in particular when it comes to events. Personally, in my opinion, or rather my goals for next year when it comes to MSA's events, I'm hoping to hold a few events with other organizations and clubs, in particular with the Wisconsin Union Directorate Film Committee. We can collaborate with that organization specifically by maybe showing Malaysian local films to promote our cultural heritage here on UW-Madison, and also working towards that the Wisconsin idea, which is for the students to be educated in order to give back to the community. We can also probably have community service events specifically within MSA in order to promote that the idea of giving back to the community.
Right, excellent. Let's just proceed to the next question now by Michael Kaur. Question goes as follows. Although a treasurer keeps track of finances and money flow, he or she is not responsible for looking for revenue for the club. Funding has always been a constraint to the event planning. What are your plans about increasing the club's revenue, and who's responsible?
Okay, so I think on this issue, I think money is always power. So it's always important to get that money. And it is actually a very big responsibility, especially if you always place it on one person. So I think a pretty good solution to this is actually to have all the committee members and even members to come together and brainstorm very early on before the semester even begins, maybe right after the election, to come up with ideas on what events we can have to like fundraise to get this profit, and then just sort of understand what is realistic and what is not, and what we can actually achieve, and what is the target revenue that we can actually achieve. So I think the responsibility is actually on a lot of the students actually in the community. So I think it's a shared burden. Thanks.
So yeah, what I feel would be the funding. Yes, truly, it should not be on the treasurer alone. The treasurer alone should not be responsible for the whole getting the money for the community. What I feel that we could do is the committee itself could organize activities that you don't need too much of planning for, activities, simple activities that we can do at a low cost that can raise money for us also. So I believe that small activities as they go can go a long way, even though if we feel that the revenue wouldn't be as substantial, but constant revenues like this would actually bring it up and continue to enhance the funding in our club. So I believe that it's a community that works together, and we are together responsible, not just one person alone.
Yeah, I believe that when it comes to financing and funding of a club, it is the collective responsibility of the entire organization, and in particular the committee itself. So I think the whole committee should be responsible for picking up of new ideas of how to bring in these funds to finance our events, and also we should also use the collective ideas of the other members. We could possibly just get some feedback from them on what events they want to have. I also hope to have smaller committees within the larger committee of MSA. So maybe once a month, these committees can meet up and brainstorm some events they think that would be appropriate towards achieving the missions and goals of MSA. And furthermore, I believe that we should, instead of having big events scheduled for each semester, we should also have minor events such as fundraisers, maybe small formals. Those are like social events, and we charge probably some kind of admission fee for people attending, and through that, you can raise substantial amounts of funds for the organization.
Right, good responses. So let us proceed to the next question by Michael Kaur again. There are usually not many non-Malaysians at our events. We want to share our culture. Suggest effective ways to promote events to non-Malaysians outside of MSA, Facebook, etc. Or do you think that it will be hard to get non-Malaysian guests regardless?
And I can respond. So there's this really cool program called Reach that some Malaysians are actually in, and that's actually a really cool way to actually spread Malaysian culture. So we could actually introduce this program, and you don't even have to sign up for this program. You could actually just pull together Malaysians who are interested in spreading Malaysian culture, and we could just get them to this program. We could actually maybe choreograph a simple dance routine that we could always use again and again, like maybe the Kadazun dance routine, or maybe Indian theme dance. We could just do the same thing for different events on campus to showcase Malaysian culture. But I'm really confident that actually international students are really interested in Malaysian culture. Part of the reason why some foreigners don't really understand Malaysian culture is that we are probably not a very well-known country. But once we set our foot out there and show them just a little bit of Malaysia, they get really excited, really interested. So it all just depends on how we tell them, and just to keep an open mind. So definitely we could actually promote our culture really effectively through different programs and different activities that we have. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure that all of you have faced a time when you told someone that you're from Malaysia, and they'll be like, "Where's that?" Or is that somewhere near Vietnam or Philippines? Things like that. So what I would say would be, I would start with the campus community first. I would suggest maybe putting events that we could invite more people in the sense that we invite clubs to join us in our events. So invite them to say we have a celebration or an event, just a social together, and we invite clubs that have other members and members of a variety of communities that come and join us and see how we do our events. And also in that way we can share our culture with them by just interaction or just a showcase of our Malaysian culture. Through that way, through that small building pieces, I believe we can make that community and understand and get them to understand our Malaysian culture, where we are from, and what we do. And that, I believe, will make our Malaysian culture known to the campus community.
Yeah, I definitely think it's not difficult to promote Malaysian culture on campus, especially UW-Madison, which has a lot of international students. I think one effective way that we can promote our culture to the greater campus community is through working with the language department of UW-Madison. Because of the amount of people who take classes in that department and are also interested in cultures other than that of theirs, I'm pretty sure they'll be definitely interested in learning about our culture. And I think through that, it'll be a relatively easy way to just spread the word about the events that we're holding, as well as our culture in general to the greater campus community. Thanks.
All right, next question by Guan Hong Tan. What do you think went wrong today? I think it's referring to the Malaysian Food Festival. And what would you have done differently?
Okay, so I was not there for the event for the entire course of time that it was held. I was there for a couple hours. And I think one problem that I think we can all agree on is that there was not enough food planned out for the entire event. And I think that in itself is a major planning problem that should have been foreseen and addressed by the committee who planned the event. And I think if I was in their position, I probably would have looked at how many people did RSVP for that event, and also how many coupons we were planning on selling that day, and maybe matching that up to give to the food that was being prepared, just to give like a rough estimate of how much food that needed to be prepared. Furthermore, I don't think there were any problems promoting that event, because there were a lot of non-MSA members that attended the event, and there were a lot of non-Malaysians who attended. And I think that is, in that perspective, it was a success from that view. Thanks.
Yeah, I believe Hariz hit the point where there was a problem where there was an undersupply of food, where we ran out of food within just an hour of operations and just an hour of everyone just coming in. So we didn't have enough supply of food for the people that came in around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And they all, I believe, a few of them went home quite disappointed. So what would I have done differently would certainly be, I would maybe suggest the sales of tickets earlier. Then you sort of can get an estimate of people how many tickets you have sold. Then you can prepare based on that amount, and also prepare a bit more so that you know, okay, during the event, I know some more people are going to come, and plan based on that. So I don't think it was a huge fault on the committee side, because they planned for event, they had a certain target, and they had an overwhelming response. So it's not their fault, but it certainly could be improved, and things could be done better if we had further planning of earlier strategies done.
Okay, so my view differs from the other two presidential candidates a bit. So one of the first things that I noticed was punctuality. So actually, like right on the dot 12 o'clock, we already had customers waiting, but we haven't set up decorations, we haven't had our food ready yet. Some people were just waiting outside, and they weren't really confident if the event was actually going on. So actually, punctuality is very important. You should get the event up and running on the dot sharp, and looking with a very like welcoming face, like, hi, come in, enjoy our food. But another thing is also, like, I noticed, like, there are a lot of people who come in alone, like, and they are like kind of shy and kind of like not sure what the event is going on. So my suggestion is that actually to have like a host and another department to like just focus on the appearance of the whole thing, like a decoration coordinator, just to make the whole event look nice and to run smoothly, to welcome the people inside, to sort of just introduce to them what food that we are serving and what's going on, what can they do. Sort of these issues. As for the lack of food, like I think the committee tried the best to estimate the food. So the food portion wasn't I wouldn't say it was too big of a deal because well, we sold all our food, which is a good thing. So that's said and done. One thing we could look forward to is actually today's event was really good. We had a large inflow of customers. So next time we could probably see why so many people come like today. Is it because maybe spring is coming, or maybe like people suddenly instantaneously like Malaysian food? Like why are people coming? So we could actually work on this to say next event, like we could hinge on this to make next event better, like to make more people come. So I think these are my views on the event today. Thanks.
Right, good responses by all three gentlemen here. Next question posted by Sudarshan. Being the president of MSA requires a special skill set. You'd be required to sacrifice a whole load of time. How would you tackle this particular issue with regards to your current commitment?
So I think, yeah, the one word right there was commitment. So every time you run for a position, and especially as big as president, commitment is a big issue. So I think before actually stepping up to take that position, you should mentally prepare yourself. And for the entire year, you got to commit yourself to the club and put the club's best interest in your mind and try your best to help the Malaysian community. But I think another skill that you might need to have is just like passion and compassion. Just to be more caring about the Malaysian community and, you know, just to hear them out, even the small voices coming from different Malaysians that maybe you're not so familiar with, but just to, you know, reach out, talk to them, get to know them. So commitment, passion, and compassion. Thanks.
Yeah. What I would say is taking up a presidential role is definitely your time has to be set, and you have to have certain time set just for this commitment. And so I believe that because I really do have a passion for having a sense of community, bringing us together, and because of my experience back in Taylor's ADP, where I always wanted to bring everyone together, every freshman, every member of the ADP community, I wanted to bring them together. And I feel I can do the same thing here because I want everyone to be involved, because everyone needs that social support group. Everyone needs a place where they can go and say they belong there and they feel comfortable with everyone else around there. What better way to have a place where you have people that came from the same background as you do? So I would believe that that passion there to do and bring a community together will certainly be a reason why I really aspire to be the leader for this community.
I think it comes without a doubt that being the president of an organization such as MSA requires a lot of responsibility and commitment. And I feel that personally, as someone who is in multiple organizations, time commitment can be something that can be a problem every once in a while, especially juggling with a huge course load. But with that being said, I feel that being in a position such as the president, I feel you would need to be able to know when to prioritize something. And being president, you should know that everyone is going to look up to you in that organization. Everyone is going to look up to you as the leader who will be guiding them through the entire year. And I think that should be one of the greatest priorities as the president. And I think one person that I look up to is the current president, Jamie. And knowing that he is someone who is currently struggling to prepare with an examination, his super heavy cost load, and also trying to juggle his social life and probably his other commitments with organizations outside of MSA. I think he is a good example, and I'm not trying to compare myself to him, but he is someone that his current position as president really educates me of the responsibilities and commitments that are required of this position.
Right. Nice words from all three candidates here. So next question is posted by Lik Sheng. Do you think MSA should add a new position for fundraising events? How are you going to make sure the committee is committed to MSA for the entire service term? Specific examples if possible.
Yeah, you want to go?
Okay, yeah. So I think one major way that we could address this issue is, like you said, we should probably have a separate committee that oversees fundraising events specifically. And I think one way to ensure their commitment towards this committee is by scheduling bi-weekly meetings for them, so they are able to meet up every other week and just discuss on methods and probably generate new ideas on what they think could be a possible fundraising event. And probably they can also reach out to other members within the organization and probably just listen to what they have to say about fundraising events, and probably maybe, just like events they want to have and they're willing to pay for. And I think that with that being said, having a separate committee that oversees fundraising events would definitely be a great asset to the organization, and it should be something that it should be something that the next committee should be planning on doing.
From my take, I think that adding a new position for fundraising events might be a bit of doubling the effect, because I think that in the community itself, we can have sort of each one of us take an opportunity within a certain period to take up each fundraising event. So since we have a few leaders inside the committee, one of us take a lead on this fundraising event, and then the next one, maybe another one takes the lead on this event. So from that point of view, we would all be involved and committed to doing something and involving ourselves in this community. So where you lead the event, and when you know other Malaysians, you can add them into your community to fundraise for that month's event. Things like that, to bring in everyone sort of to help out. You know them based on their skill set, so you know them based on what they can help you do with them, what they know about things that you don't know about. So things like that, where you can help out each other and sort of raise that commitment together as one.
So with regards to Diction's question, I disagree that we should have a fundraising position in the MSA committee. So as I said earlier, having fundraisers or having the revenue for the club is something that the whole club, the whole committee can discuss about, can brainstorm very early on to have this kind of thing. And besides, fundraising and making a profit for the club shouldn't be something that the club should prioritize heavily on. Should just be something that we have maybe once or twice a year, maybe 3 or 4 times, but not too much, and definitely not something that we should probably have a person just in charge just to think about this idea. I think when we have everybody come together and think like a big group to brainstorm on the idea, you get more creative ideas that could probably work better than if you have just one person focusing on having fundraisers throughout the year. So that's my view on this. Thanks.
All right, good job. So the next question is posted by Auni. What is the biggest change that you are going to bring to MSA for the coming year?
I can go first. Yeah. So I think the biggest change that I will bring to MSA is just fresh new ideas to help the club. Probably things that the club probably they have done many previous events, but I think I can bring in new events that can actually help integrate, especially the juniors or the incoming Malaysian students together with the current Malaysian students, and actually just to get them to be more interactive. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, for me, I would say the biggest change I would do would be having more freshman and transfer new incoming students events, things like events that just introduces them to the whole community introduces them to the life on campus, things for them to ease their transition inside, rather than them needing to find out by themselves, and also having the community helping them out. And also, I would like to address that the participation of current members. I would want to do things that involve all of them, because sometimes an event would not get the interest of every single person, so you need a diversity of events. Events that take part, like sometimes sports, sometimes things to do with academics, sometimes things to do with just social activities. So a variety of events, a larger scale variety of events where we all can bring everyone sort of together in the sense that they would participate what they're interested in, and sort of get everyone to slowly come into the community and start enjoying what our community does together.
Yeah, I think one thing we can all agree on is that the involvement in MSA is not really the best right now, and that should be one thing that, if elected as president, I would definitely change in the future. I think one way that I would do that is definitely by getting more people to be integrated within the organization, and I'm well aware that there are also non-Malaysians in the organization, and that could possibly be an opportunity for us as Malaysians to get to know the cultures of other people that are not Malaysian in the organization, and definitely to get people more involved in MSA. I think just by having more cultural events, and also events that are not so formal, such as the Deepavali and Chinese New Year events, just like small social events, that could definitely be something to promote more integration and involvement of MSA members.
Right. Next question by Shafi. Your manifestos, let me just refresh because someone has posted new question. Your manifestos explain your goals and future contributions to MSA. What do you think you'll gain from being president?
So this is kind of similar to the previous question, so but I'll put in a new thing, which is I think I'll just actually help the new incoming Malaysian students sort of integrate much better on campus, but also to have like the different cliques of Malaysian community to actually meet up with one another, maybe like chit chat for a while, get to know each other better. Thanks.
So from gaining presidency in MSA, I think I would gain the large scale of experience that is available through planning activities, through managing and being responsible for so many other things that are substantial in this community. And I think that the biggest thing that I would gain would be, because I would say the biggest thing that I would gain would be the people, the friends that I make, the new people that I meet, the community as a whole, getting into one community. I believe that bringing everyone together, which is really my goal, would certainly bring a sense of community, and I wish to gain that here.
I think by being president of MSA, I think the biggest thing that the biggest takeaway from that would be is the opportunity to just get to know everyone within the Malaysian community, and also being the role model for everyone. Just to have that sense of community and the sense of getting involved within that community, and just leaving some kind of legacy that that future students can look up to. And what I'm trying to say is that I want the future Malaysian students that come to UW Madison to have this sense of community and giving back to that community. And I think that rings well with the philosophy of the university. And also it could possibly, and it will definitely give a positive benefit to everyone within that within MSA.
Right. We have a second question by Lixing here. How have you contributed to MSA for the time you were here?
I can go first. So, to be very frank, I've been here for about a year, and the past year I haven't actually contributed much to MSA. But throughout the close to the end of last year, I actually saw a glimpse of potential in MSA. I can't really remember what it was that sort of just struck me like that. But that's the reason why this year I actually wanted to contribute more to MSA. I tried to just hang out with the juniors, the incoming Malaysian students, and I tried to apply for the internship for MSA just to see how things will run, just to sort of get some experience. And probably today I helped out with the event, and probably grad night. Grad night is what I will be contributing to, but these are just sort of the small things. But I hope I can actually contribute a whole lot more if I'm in the community for next fall. Thank you.
So yeah, I believe my contribution would be mainly attending events, and if ever they needed people and they were to ask for help, I would certainly, if I could, I would certainly do it. And every time that there's an opportunity or an event there, I would certainly want to go for the event just to see the faces of other Malaysians and just to see the community as one. So definitely, I believe my contributions are small as of now, but I believe taking up this position, I would get more involved and definitely try to improve my abilities to make this community as a whole a better one.
Yeah, from my personal experience, ever since coming into UW Medicine last year, I've been attending most of the MSA events, and I think I've only missed like a couple, and that was not even by choice because I had other commitments. But I think the current committee has been very good at convincing me to attend all of the events, and that's because they've been doing a good job in promoting the event and also making the events fun. When I came in to UW in August last year, I didn't think that the Malaysian Student Association would be that great, in the sense that they wouldn't be holding this many events as I thought it would. But after just a couple weeks going through the school year, they really showed to me that MSA has really great events, and through those events, I've been able to make new friends. And just be able to get myself involved in the community. And ever since late last year, I've been trying my best to also volunteer for this event, because I know that sometimes MSA can have a short of hand in organizing their events. And I think that just by helping them in one way or another can contribute greatly to the greater community.
Right, great responses from all three people here. Next question is by probably the person that's gonna ask the most questions here, Michael Kors. Here is him again. We know that vice presidents are meant for. Oh wait, sorry, someone just asked the question. We know that vice presidents are meant for helping presidents in a general sense. Can you think of specific job tasks that are suitable for the vice president instead of the president?
I can't really think of any specific task that the vice president should handle or the president. But I think it's a mutual thing. Like they should work together, work it out. Like find each other's strengths and weaknesses, get to know each other. So if he's better at doing one thing compared to the vice president, he could maybe take on that job. So there needs to be very good communication between the president and vice president. But yeah, it's just a mutual thing between them that they could help each other out. Thank you.
Yeah, I believe the vice president shouldn't just play a supporting role to the president, and in fact that it should be an effect where they work together and make decisions together. And also, vice president can play a role where so sometimes people would want to people make mistakes and people want to follow their own path, and if the president has a choice that is not in relation with what the whole community is actually aiming for. So I believe the vice president holds the position in that sense also to help the president realize that this is not the right thing we should do, and we should follow a different path, which is what the whole community is saying. So I believe it's a community effect, and the vice president also should be a part where if the president is unable to perform his task, the vice president takes up the task itself.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree with both of them. I don't think that the VP has any specific job task, but I do believe that a vice president position is as important as the president. I don't believe that a president is able to function by him or herself, simply because, you know, when you give one person that power, you know, there is room for abuse of power, or maybe even not using that power to the best of their ability and just crumbling, and that would lead to detrimental effects for the rest of the organization. And I feel like a vice president should be there to support the president, and the president should also be there to support the VP amongst his other responsibilities. And I think by having the president and the vice president always working together, it would bring about better effects for the committee and also for the entire organization. With that being said, the vice president, I feel, should be someone who is as competent, if not better, than the president in supporting his or her role.
Right, great job. Next question is posted by Ning Chu. That's long. Despite our large community of Malaysians, there is a small group of Malaysians here on campus who are not a part of MSA and whose presence is not known. Do you plan to, and how would you reach out to these Malaysians? How would you make their integration, the continuation of the question, I believe, into MSA as a newcomer, welcoming and comfortable for them?
So with regards to like the small community of Malaysians who aren't in MSA, I think sometimes no, we can force the issue. Like sometimes we can just talk to them, reach out to them, let them know about MSA, let them know that they're welcome, join our activities anytime, or just like hang out with us. But like if those like individuals like don't find us interesting and they maybe like find us not cool to hang out with, I mean, we can't really force the issue. So we could definitely talk to these people and try to reach out. And I think what we can do next is actually like for each like incoming Malaysian student, we can actually like welcome them to the community, introduce them to like a few other Malaysians around on campus to make sure that each of these new incoming Malaysian students are like welcome, and that they're like they meet the people around campus, just to be sure. Like so, but at the end of the day, if they are uninterested, we can force the issue. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely it would be the idea of on campus right now. There's surely people that are not part of MSA, and it's probably because they have other responsibilities or other things that they are more involved in, that they can't just contribute to our community, and we understand that. So what we would keep doing is, I would suggest to continue to invite them, even though if they say they're not part of the community and they're not part of the MSA community. I will continue to invite them to join us and join our activities. Just have them, let them know that the sense that we know you're here, and we invite you all the time to come to our activities and join us as one. And also, I believe that effect can be strengthened by helping the new incoming students to understand us and join our community. So by having a welcome night for them, sort of introducing them to all the Malaysians here that are already currently here, and sort of giving them a sense, we are here for you. If we have people that are in your major that can help you, that can sort of make you feel at home and not feel that homesick effect that people always get and sort of lose the sense of community that we have as a Malaysian.
Yeah, when it comes to this problem, I think the best way to tackle this is by using it's by building friendships between the Malaysian students themselves. Like for me personally, when I came in to UW, I wasn't sure if I was ready to commit myself to MSA and by volunteering to the events and whatnot. But because I had friends who were seniors and were already in the MSA, and they convinced me that I should just show up and contribute my time to the events. That experience really opened my eyes to the important role MSA has in supporting Malaysians on campus. And I think I have to agree with what Jerome said, is that we should always welcome them with open arms. Just by being there for them and building this support system for new incoming Malaysians, just by showing to them that hey, if you have any problems that are arising, even though you are not going to be following our events or whatever we're doing, don't be afraid to just come in to any of the members or any of the committee members and just talking to us, just talk about how school has been going, and maybe if you need some advice on majors or courses or anything like that, and I think building relationships outside of MSA is equally as important as building relationships within MSA.
Right. So before we proceed, I would like to extend my apologies to all the people that are viewing this live, that we will not be able to cover all of the questions here in this video. However, you can still continue to post questions here, and the candidates may choose to answer them in Facebook or in another medium if they choose to. So the next question here is by Anissa. It's common for people to apply for this position as a resume booster. How are you going to ensure that whatever you are debating right now are not all anti-promises?
I can go first. So I think one way that you can know that these aren't empty promises is actually just you have gotta vote rational. You gotta know the president whom you are voting for before you vote for them. Maybe if you've never met the presidential candidate, maybe come out to talk to them, get to know their true intent of why they're actually running for this, and sort of just be more keenly aware of superficial promises, empty promises, as Anissa said. So these are definitely things that can definitely be detrimental to the club, and even the most committed person can falter throughout the semester and lose commitment throughout the semester. So it's really important maybe just to be a rational voter, get to know the president before you vote for them. Thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with the statement above the question. Would be definitely a lot of people would take this as an opportunity just for a resume booster and sort of become don't do anything, just do what is required of them and don't have the passion to continue doing things like that. So what I would say would be you like Ming said, you get to know us, get to see if we actually what we are talking about, and I believe you can see through the actions that we do, the things that we do, the participation that we have, and the passion that we have for this community. I think based on that, you can see that we are just not giving you empty promises. I'm sure you might think that we are saying a lot of things that could be just empty promises and things that we're not going to do. But I'm telling you this from my heart that we are going to do things that that we know we can do, things that are relatively possible, and always try to achieve what we can do. So I would say the passion that drives me for this community would certainly be a reason for me to continue trying to make things happen well. So what I would do is certainly, given the opportunity, I would start off the first event with a bang. Maybe do something that impresses everyone and shows that I really want to show this community to enhance and grow as one.
Yeah, I think Ming and Jerome really hit the nail on the head on that one. like they said, you should just come up to us outside of class times or whenever you're free. Just come up to us and just get to know us better. Get to know our goals or our values and what we think of MSA and our ideas on how we can keep this organization going forward. And also running for this position, I think personally, when I drew up my manifesto, I truly put my missions and goals, and I really thought hard about them, and I really kept them. I kept it within my own, what I know is my ability and what I know I can do in the future, given the support of the members and the committee itself. And right now, looking at it, I think that with the support for MSA getting stronger ever since I came into UW, I think that these promises and our goals are definitely achievable in the future. And with that being said, just to reiterate what both of them said, is that the power is in your hands. This is a democracy, and you have the power to be rational voters and choose who you feel goes in line with the missions and goals with MSA. Thanks.
Right. Next question. Oh, here's someone that's competing with Michael Kaur by Sudarshan. When the poll went around with regards to hosting a TGM in Madison, TGM is Temasek Jago, Malaysia. Someone just put a question, sorry. There was a poor response from the members itself. What are you going to do to ensure a greater support in terms of time and effort from the general members?
Okay. I think this is a very technical question. You're asking specifically on how we can actually improve on this situation. But I think one of the best ways is actually just to learn more about TGM first, get to know why host TGM, what's the benefit, or how has it been throughout the years, and then just let them know that it's maybe a great idea if it is. Just let them know how great of an idea TGM can be for the campus and how fun it can be for the students, and definitely just to just maybe let them know that maybe have a small info session with previous hosts of TGM to maybe get some advice from them, and maybe after getting some advice from previous TGM hosters, that they would have more confidence in hosting TGM, and hopefully that will actually help them be more committed to hosting TGM.
So what I feel the poor response is maybe due to people don't want to spend that much of time and be an effort into taking part into these events. So this is something that I've experienced before, something back in Taylor's ADP, where we had the student council events, and we saw at the start we didn't have such a good participation from all the members in our activities that we carried out. So what we did was we planned from the start that in the start of the semester we have activities that just bring everyone together, social activities that just connect us with each other, things that just bring us together as people that we can talk to on a daily basis. So from that point in time, I think once we did that, right, we were able to get a closer bond with those freshmen, people that just came in. And straight away, when we wanted to plan big activities like a sporting activity called the ADP Cup, which is comprised of 300 over members, we straight away had freshmen that were so interested in joining and being part of this community and trying to take up responsibilities in being referees for each match or game masters for each match. And they were willing to do it because they were connected with their community. And I believe that I can do the same thing here, where I would want to bring the community together first. And that sort of brings up the responsibility and the willingness to take up the responsibility and build and take up events as huge as DJM. So I believe that starting small and slowly building up that confidence in them among the members, among their friendship, among each other, we slowly can build up to that point where everyone is willing to take part. Everyone wants to take part because this is such a great thing that everyone can benefit from.
Yeah, I think with regards to TGM, I think the poor response was due to, from my point of view, is that there was poor marketing for the event. There was poor promotion for the event. I don't because personally, I frequently check the MSA Facebook page, and I don't think that just by looking at the page, I don't think there was enough promotion for the event. And I was kind of disappointed in that because I really wanted TGM to be in Madison so that I didn't have to travel all the way to Iowa. But even then, I wasn't able to attend the event. It would have been great if it was in Madison. And I feel that to address the problem of getting support from the members of MSA to participate in this event, I think it's important for the committee to build the hype towards for big events that are coming in the future. And I think that marketing is one thing, but I think it's also important to promote that sense of spirit and community towards MSA. And I think with that, members will be motivated to participate in these events. It will be a difficult task to gain support of people when they don't want to, but I think just by showing that the organization itself is committed and is also motivated towards achieving that goal, I think would consequently motivate its members to also participate in these events.
Right, good job. So we hope to finish this event by 9:45. So I now request each candidate to just limit their response to at most 1 minute. Is that possible? Right. So a follow-up question by Sudarshan here, and this question is directed to ZhengMing. It is great to know that you have contributed as an intern for MSA. Being part of the current board and being able to help, what are you going to do to ensure? Oh, no.
Wait. Okay, being a part of the current board or being able to learn under them, what do you think MSA needs at the moment?
This semester?
I mean, like now, MSA now. Like, what do you think?
What do you think MSA needs? Like, you've already been under the board, you know what it's like, what's wrong with it, like this event, you're part of it as well. So what do you think it needs? What does MSA need right now?
I think just right now, maybe nothing that demands too much from each person, but just better communication between each member, and maybe more brainstorm ideas, and maybe more realistic brainstorm ideas that is actually like effective in each situation. But basically, that's it. Better communication. Just to talk with each other more frequently.
Right. In efforts to be more fair here, so the next question is directed to Jerome and Hariz by Chinri. So Jerome and Hariz, since you did not apply to be an intern, how would you prove that you're ready to commit to MSA for the next year?
I know that I should have committed myself more towards this organization by applying to be an intern, and but due to other commitments that I had last semester, and also wanting to improve my academics this semester, I did not. And I think that what motivated me to apply for this position was that I felt that I had strong motivation, and I saw potential in this organization because I felt that this organization can be improved for future students and also in the future. And I felt that just by having this motivation and also having this drive to commit myself towards the organization, I feel that I am ready. I'm ready to take up this position as president and also to lead the next committee for next year.
right? So for myself, I would say that in my first semester here, I chose to sort of touch waters with the many communities that are in medicine here. But what really inspired me to take up this position is that the MSA, even at every event, I sort of had the feeling that I wanted to come back. I wanted to be back in that room with everyone else. I wanted that conversation that we had, that fun that we had. And every time I went for an MSA activity, it just felt that I wasn't bored. I wasn't like deprived of any fun that I could have. There's always a time of enjoyment, a time of getting to know each other, connecting with more members, and just a good time. So based on that analysis itself from my first semester, I found that MSA was the one that I really am interested in, the one that I really like and I really want to be a part of. So taking up this position would be certainly an uphill task, but a task that I'm willing to take because this community gives me so much joy and enjoyment and a feeling of opportunity that I believe that I can give to everyone else also by being being the leading role in this community.
Right, good job. So we have a second question by Auni. Although we are considered as one Malaysia, it is seen that Malaysians themselves are divided into groups. During big events such as the Raya, Chinese New Year, or even talent corp talks, some people stay and mingle within their own groups. Do you think that you have any potential solution to dilute this problem and create a true One Malaysia community?
Can we go first? So I think last year, early on in the semester, they had a really just a small event. I can't really remember the name, but they had a like ice breaking session right before the main event, which was like just eating Malaysian food. But the icebreaker session basically just randomly put Malaysian students into different small little groups, and they just sort of like briefly describe like where they came from, which part in Malaysia, just talk about their name and like favorite animal. I think that is like sort of the small steps that we can take doing like Iparaya events or like Chinese New Year events, just to break them up and have like small ice breaking sessions before the main event. I think that would be very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this would be a continuation to my earlier answer of introducing freshmen and new incoming students to the community firsthand. So what I would say would be like sort of creating that connection, that relationship that we have with one another. Like once we got here, we instantly connected with the seniors. We instantly connected with people part here, and some people they didn't get the opportunity to feel the same way that we felt. So what I would do would certainly be to reach out to them to help them in any way possible, to show them that this community is a community that we are together as one, even though we have our small separate groups during our daily events or daily activities. When we come together as one event, we are all together as one. So I want to do events that promote us coming together.
With regards to this problem, I think I think we can all agree that this is an actual problem that needs to be addressed by the organization, and I feel that just by having possibly the seniors just reaching out to the new students early on when they come into the university, that I think that could address this problem. Because personally, in my experience, I became more involved with MSA because I knew seniors were already here and they were very welcoming towards me, and just to introduce me to life as a Badger at UW, and I think and because of that, I've begun to get out of my own social circle and just getting to know other Malaysians who are on campus. And I think that just by making seniors be more willing to introduce themselves to the new students, and or maybe even students they don't know, that could improve this situation.
All right, great insights by the three presidential candidates here. Next question is posted by Sun Len. What is your greatest failure and what did you learn from it?
Yeah.
I can go first.
What do you
Yeah.
are you Jerome?
I can go first.
Okay, cool.
So I think throughout the past, when I was the president of the English club in high school, and also as a taekwondo instructor, I think the biggest failure I had was like relying too much on myself and not working together with the people around me, and working together with the committee members, the community. So I think what I would try to do as president, if I'm voted as president, is to work together really closely with the committee members to try and pull everybody's talent together and just reach a better potential. Yeah. Thank you.
So my greatest failure, I think, would be a turning point for me in my transition to high school, where I wasn't doing so well in primary school. I didn't put effort at all in my education, and I could see it and my parents could see it, and everyone else could see it, that I was just being a slacker, and I didn't put any effort at all. So once I went to high school, I realized that I need to do something about this, and things have to change for the better. People need to see that I'm not just a person that will just let everything go and just be so relaxed about everything and not take responsibilities on the things that I do. So I believe that was my greatest failure, and what I learned from it is that I need to show people that I'm actually dedicated to what I do. I'm not just a person that would just tell you something and I wouldn't do it. I learned from that. That was the biggest fall that I had, and I think that based on that experience, I would want to, if you don't like, I would want to show that I'm able and capable of doing things that take on great responsibilities and take on great effect on the community. So I believe that from that experience onwards, I would want to show people that I would do something, and if I do it, I would do it well, and not just to reach the minimum target, but to succeed in it fully.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest failures I've had in recent days, and something I constantly reflect on, was my failure in committing to the UW rowing team. Early on last semester, I actually signed up and made it into the shortlist for the UW rowing team. And I think one thing that I dropped out within 3 weeks of it due to commitment problems. And I think the greatest takeaway I can get from that was that, in order for yourself to be committed to a task or goal, you must first have passion towards it. You must be passionate towards that goal in order to have motivation to commit yourself to that goal. And I think in hindsight, I realized that I did not have enough passion towards rowing, even though I wanted to represent UW Madison.
Right, next question by Shaza. Being a president of MSA, you also need to build good relationships with other organizations such as MARA, JPA, and Education Malaysia Chicago. How would you go about maintaining these relationships with the officers?
So I think one of it is communication, just to get in touch with them, talk to them. Maybe if you have never met them yet, just introduce yourself to them. I also maybe get to know some Malaysians who know these like officers, and maybe just communicate with those Malaysian students into like getting closer with officers. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely communication is a strong idea. We know that some of our students are sponsored by these organizations, and that they are a big community in the UW Madison. So what I would do would certainly be to continue communicating with them, telling them things that we do. Maybe even if we have an opportunity to invite a representative to see how we are developing as a community, see how we are treating our community as one. So definitely to show that we are the MSA community of UW Madison, and to definitely involve them and sort out issues if there are any issues needed to be sorted out.
Yeah, communicating with these organizations is definitely, and it should be one of MSA's biggest responsibilities. Just because of the great interest of Malaysian students on campus, and I think that the greatest way to build good relationships with these organizations is simply by networking through the Mara and JPA scholars, just to get to know who they've been communicating with, and simply building a communication between the organization and these people that represent these organizations. And furthermore, I think your MSA should just keep up with communicating with organizations like the Education Malaysia in Chicago. Just by letting them know how we've been doing and what we're planning to do in the future in time to come.
All right, good. We have now come to the last question here by Akmal. It's always easier to come up with the ideas than to execute them successfully. How would you make sure that other Malaysians are confident with your ideas? We expect you to carry out most of the promises you've made throughout this session.
So I think one of it is once the committee is elected, so have a very early discussion with each other about realistic goals that you guys can achieve, and goals that you are really interested in achieving, and list those down and make it not too many. The other side ones can come later through the year, but the main ones, just the few that you really want to prioritize, you make it early on. So early preparation. Thank you.
Yeah. Definitely, the planning early is definitely an ideal situation where we would do the events earlier, do the planning of the events, the logistics, and things that we need to address, like all the big community events that we have. Those are the main events that we support, but also the introduction of new events, new social activities, new introductory events, things like that. We want to sort of show that we are able to commit to that by the committee itself, agreeing to what we are doing and achieving it as a common goal between all of us together.
Yeah, things are definitely easier said than done, and this is no exception. But I truly feel that once the new committee is elected, it should be in our greatest priority to just prioritize the events that we want to happen, and also the ones that we think should happen, but to keep up with the interests of the other members in the organization. And definitely, I think that would be the main concern if elected as president for me personally. And definitely, the most important part is that we do things with the best interests of the whole organization in mind. And I think by doing that, we are keeping to the values and mission of this organization.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone here for tuning in, and for those that have posted your valuable suggestions and questions. They're very thoughtful, and we certainly hope that all the presidential candidates can live up to their words. And just a quick note to everyone here, voting season is already here. You can vote from actually yesterday until next Sunday, and the link to vote can be found in our website, or it has also been posted as a attachment of our Malaysian citizens like this post. And also a footnote to those that are running for positions, that you may campaign in the MSA Facebook page if you want to, and also for the voters out there, you can check out their manifestos, or you can continue to post more questions directed to anyone, and they may choose or choose not to answer them in Facebook accordingly. So thank you very much once again, and have a good night.